Hi, it's Kerry from Mobilates. So we've got 30 minutes of gentle movement and it's all the different positions that work for you. It could be you're happy standing, it could be you're happy sitting, it could be you'd rather lie down. I'm going to do a mix, but everything we can do can work in these different positions, and I will move between standing, sitting and lying. I don't tend to lie down until about halfway through, but yeah, there's potential for doing all of those. Shall we get moving? I'm going to keep a little lookout for any comments. If you're a regular, you might want to just say hi so I know that you're there. If you're a newbie, welcome, always welcome, whether you're just dipping in for a little try or you're thinking, I'm going to come back every week. This is such a great resource. So let's get started. Feet comfortable width apart. So we can bring them in a moment, but just comfortable, feet facing forwards. You can see my toes just facing forwards. I've got my toe socks in. Hiya, Irene. Hiya, Jackie. Lovely to have you both. I'm just going to get my mat slightly more lined up. I have this line along it here, and if it's a bit wonky, it throws me now. Right, so we've got our feet a comfortable width. We're going to drop it into our knees a little bit. So if you're standing, it just means soften them slightly. If you're sitting, just sit on your chair, legs bent 90 degrees, feet facing forwards. Oh, I've got to look forwards. Christine, hello. And Jean and Gillian. Oh, thank you, Gillian. Sunny Berks. Jean, it always seems to be sunny where you are. Right, let's get started. So we're going to go for some pelvic tilts. Maybe a hand on the belly and a hand on the back. Take a breath in. Think a wide breath to the sides of your waist. And as you breathe out, you're tipping your pelvis towards you, its pubic bone up towards your nose. And then as you breathe in, you're tipping it down towards your toes. And it is just this tipping. You're trying to get, it's like a rocking motion. If you can reach your hand around the back, I like my hand almost, it's not pushing, guiding, let's call it guiding. And I find it harder to tuck under. My bum really likes to stick out naturally. So just giving it a little bit of guidance. And just that sliding my hand down just helps with the sensation. And if I do it seated, same thing. I find it easier seated because of the resistance of the chair. That's it. And then give a little wiggle side to side. And then we're going to go into a chin tuck, a gentle one. Tap the back of your head, get a little bit of sensation, and then pull that buzzy, fuzzy sensation back and invite a few chins in. So the chin just dips slightly down and all the hidden chins, they pop out. So once you've got those hidden chins all visible, now we've got a lot of length at the back of our neck. Bring your arms closer to you and now turn your head as gently as you can. We're not forcing. We're just smoothing round. It's a warm-up. We're just taking it gently. And then come back to the center, and I'm going to give you a different way to do this. So bring your palms forwards like they are little mirrors or even portals to another world. Just see if we've got anyone else in there. I don't think so. Right. Take them to the side. Turn your head and look, slightly pulling back like you're surprised, like you've seen something amazing. And then it's too much. Turn your hands away, turn your head away, bring it back. You want another look in. I'm looking right to the center of my palms and then turn them away. It's quite dramatic. Bring them back, turn them away. Have a little wiggle. Other side. Hands are at the side. You can think of them as like little wing mirrors just on one side. Turn and look into them. I like to think of them as portals. So I'm looking into something deep. And then it's too much. I'm going to turn the other way. Look into them. You can't resist looking into them. And then look away. And then one more. And look away. And just give everything a little wiggle. It's just a different way to do a neck turn. Now can we make it more of a roll? And if you're doing a roll like mine, and it could be something else as well, when you push your head back, can you think up and away rather than back? So that your head is like pushing away from yourself. So feel the effort going up rather than dropping back. Come back to the center. Give your shoulders an alternate roll. I like to keep my arms really close for the first few. And you can see I'm going a little forwards and a little backwards. And now longer arms. Maybe they're just hanging by your sides. Maybe you're happier with one and then the other. A little forwards, a little back. Right, now down towards the feet. So still that comfortable width apart. Toes, that's where we're starting. You might need something for balance because it's going to be a little bit sort of challenging for the balance. Lifting the toes off the ground. Now, you can see I'm looking at mine because it helps with the connection, and you can see the toes that are reluctant. It's often the outer edge. I do this one a lot. I have some problems in my big toes, and doing this and other foot exercises very regularly, probably daily, it has made a big difference to their mobility. If you find it really difficult to get your toe up, I recommend putting something off on and feet, a different texture that your toes can feel, and then lift away from that texture. Sometimes it just helps to be the edge of something, like the edge of a mat. If I went back and just put my toes right on the very edge, and then that lifts my toes up a little bit, that makes it harder, and now it gives me something more to lift away from. It gives my brain a bit more information. Right, now keep the front of your feet down. We're going to lift the heels up and down just a little bit, and then take the feet, roll them out to the outside of the edge and the inside edge. You can see the rest of my leg moves with it. I think I'm going to sneeze, so excuse me. Excuse me. That's it. And now those heels up and down, maybe a little higher. And then you see my arms just have to go out to the side, stop me falling. It just helps my balance. Now a little squeeze for the arch of the foot. You can't see much going on. You can see a tiny bit of movement in my feet. And my toes, they squeeze. If it was my hands doing it, my toes are doing that. They're sort of squeezing together, hitching up like that where the arch is. And the arch bit I'm talking about is here. I've got quite a pronounced arch, so you can just see a little curved shape. All got different shaped feet. You might have an arch which is quite flat, or it just collapses out as you walk. Doing this exercise really helps. I often think of it as like pulling blinds up, like I'm just pulling a cord and just gently pulling a blind, doing it, so nothing to pull or one way, can do for the other. Right now, we're going on those heel raises again, or little calf squeezes. So I'm going to get my arms out to the side for my balance. That's it. If I was seated, I'd probably have my hands on my chest, pushing front of my foot downwards a little. Right, now I'm going to give you something different. If you're seated, I want you to do a heel raise and then hands a bit behind you. I'm hoping there's something a bit softer on your chair. Push your feet down, push your arms into the chair, and come upwards. Lift your heels, push up. Lift your heels, push up. I say push up. You're pushing your body upwards, your feet and legs down. Standing, heel raise, slide down the wall, knees go forwards. Now, when you do this one, watch out for this happening. It's not this one. It's keeping your back like sliding down a wall. You can even take it to a wall. It really helps to feel the wall as you slide down. Now we're going to do a little side step and then side step back, side step back. We're going to float the arms around in a circle. And I'm just doing 3 because that fits on my mat. If I was doing it on the chair, side step, step to center, side step, Side step to the centre. I've got my arms going both directions now. We could have that going outwards, going in, going outwards, going in. Don't know which direction I'm going in now. Just trying to mix it up a little bit. Come back to the centre. Now take your feet a little wider and slightly outwards, just a little bit. If you're sitting, put your hands on your legs. If you're standing, your arms are going to come forwards. Send your bum back. Like there's a painted wall behind you, fresh paint, and you want some paint right on the back of your bum. Like you're going to do a bum print. That's it. So as you do this, you're not bending your knees anymore. It's more that your hips travel back and your thighs change position rather than your knees changing. You're sitting, hands are lightly on your legs. There's a little bit of tension in the belly just to help control you and keep everything very upright. Right, now we're going to make it into a little reach and rotate. So let's have everybody hands on their legs, send your bum back, and you're just going a little lower, somewhere you can hold. That's it. Flat back. Now take an arm out, have a little swish around. That's it. Come back to the centre. Other arm, have a swish around. Stand yourself up, bring your arms upwards. If you can add a heel raise onto that, fantastic. Same again. Send your bum back, hands on your legs. You're perhaps not going as low as you can because we've got to hold it. So we want something that we can sustain. Hold it. My gaze is sort of looking ahead. There's a desk in front of me. I'm just looking to the top of the desk. Now I'm taking that arm round. I'm going to follow my arm. And the other side. Bring your hands back. Push yourself up. Bring your arms up. Can you bring your heels up too? Is okay if the answer is no. Gorgeous. Right, now we're going to make it soft and swishy. So the body is having a turn. It's not just the waist, it's the whole body having a turn, starting to look behind you. It might look like a hand slide if you're seated. It might be swishing your hands around. Now, if you have osteoporosis and you're doing this seated, just think about how much turn works for you. You want to retain some retention, but it depends on your history, really, with your osteoporosis, how much you turn, because it can be a very strong movement. So keeping it soft and swishy like this, that's lovely. And I tend to use the legs as a little guidance for that and not overextending over the legs. But if you haven't got osteoporosis or osteopenia and you're comfortable to go a little further, go for it. You can always take the legs wider as well. Come back to the centre, bring the legs closer. This is how it's going to look if you're seated. We're going to tap a leg out to the side and in, and then the other leg out to the side and in. So we'll just do a few like that. Now, if you're standing, we're going to possibly use something for balance. Tap out and in. The toe is pointing forwards, out and in. You might be able to raise your leg. Can you even out your hips? You can see mine was just right up there then. I'm just going to bring it down and bring that leg out and in. It's a bit like a dog cocking its leg. The weight is all in this standing leg. And then put both feet down. Have a little wiggle, rub any bits that might just be aching just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to come over this side, do the other side. So we're going to take this leg out to the side and back. I've got my hands on my hips to help with the balance, helps me grow a little taller. If you're seated, you're tapping. It's a bit like your foot's just going over something, like there's a pencil on the floor or remote control and you're just stepping over it and back. And your body's just staying facing forward as your leg does that by itself. You could always hold onto your chair. If you're standing, you could take it up to maybe a bent leg version, so the knees pointing out at the front and going out to the side and in, out. It's like you're pushing something away on this side. That's it. Last one. And then we're going to make it smooth and flowing with a figure 8 movement. You see, I'm taking my body forwards and backwards, straight back at the moment. If I was doing this seated, wider legs. And I'm doing this instead of the roll down today. I like to mix it up. Now, if you've got osteoporosis, keep your back like this, straight each way, and you could lean forward backwards a little here so your chest feels like it's going slightly up towards the ceiling. If your back is comfortable bending over, you could have a little downwards, almost like a little dive, and then you could come upwards and have a little lean back. So a little curling dive over, and then a little backwards lean back. I quite like the straight arm. It's my preference. Last one. And then we're going to take it either down to the floor or sitting on your chair or the edge of your bed. So I'm going to go down to the floor and I'll use the sofa bed for my demonstrations. Just have a little move around. This is a good time to have a drink. You might want a pillow for your head. And you might want extra pillows because we're going to do a bit of side lying today. So if you know that lying on your side, let's just change the camera, is uncomfortable on your hips, you might want a pillow so that you can lie and place your hips on the pillow. I have quite a thick mat, so that really helps with things like side lying and being on your front. I think the positions that aren't as comfortable. Right. So seated, just taking your time to get really comfortable on your chair, wider legs. You might want your back quite close to the back of the chair. If you're lying down, just take all the time you need to get yourself down to the floor, to get your head comfortable, to get your back and feet comfortable. It often takes a few sways and wriggles to do that. And then when you've got it, we'll just rest our hands on our belly and take 3 breaths in and out, really nice and slow. And just take your time, not deep breaths, but slightly longer breaths, especially the exhale. So sending a breath in, send that breath into your ribs, right across your back. And then a long, slow breath out. And when you're ready, your breath in. Think wide, fill up your back. All the way down to your waist. And a long, slow exhale. Just doing that one as a blow out through the lips, a bit like you're blowing bubbles through a little tiny bubble blower. Next one I'm just going to do through my nose. Gorgeous. Now if your eyes are closed, you can keep them closed. We're going to do that breath in again. And this time as we breathe out, could you take it into a tipping pelvic tilt? So you're just tipping your pubic bone up towards you, towards your nose. If you're lying down, think of it more as towards my ribs. And then you're going to breathe in and tip down between your legs, down, pointing towards my toes, down towards the mat, towards the floor. And you might even find there's a gap behind you. Tipping the other way, breathing out. Now, it's going to vary. Some of you are going to find your back's completely on the floor. I'm completely flat against the floor there. Or it's pushed towards the back of your chair or maybe even a cushion. And as I go the other way, I can get an arch and put my hand under. But it's not always the case for everybody. It depends on the shape of your spine. And one more. Lovely. And then let everything settle. Right, now we're going to just work the toes again. Lift them up and down. Give the arches another little squeeze upwards. Just notice where you can feel it in your legs. Oh, I can feel it right under my foot. It's giving me a little bit of cramp. And then the heels up and down a few times. And if you're lying down, take away anything that's under your head. We're going to just change a little bit from a pelvic tilt into a bridge. And if you're sitting, still a pelvic tilt, but we're going to add a little wiggle into it. So if you're lying down, you might want your feet slightly closer. First, we'll do our pelvic tilt. And then if you're lying down, could you put all the pressure down into your feet, please? Pressing down, and now lift your hips a little higher. Hold it there. And then if you are lying down, we're going to wiggle our bum down like you're doing a sort of zigzag road, and your tailbone is just following that zigzag until you're all the way down. If you're seated, I just want you to do a pelvic tilt and then a little side to side wiggle, lifting your bum off the seat. And then we're going to go and repeat again. So it's either a bridge if you're sitting, no, lying, that's the one, nearly said standing. And it's a pelvic tilt if you're sitting. And then we're going to do either that zigzag or that wiggle. Either way, it's the same sort of movement. That's it. Just gives you a little more stretch in the back. Slightly different way to move. Let's go for one more. Holding it. Maybe you're lifting your hips a little higher. Can you lift your toes up and down whilst you're doing your bridge or your tilt? Maybe your heels. I know I'm holding you here a little longer. We're nearly done. And now that zigzag or that little shimmy. And then rest at the bottom. You might even want, if you're lying down, your legs in towards you or away. If you're sitting, you might want to stretch your legs away a little bit, maybe a bit wider. In fact, should we all stretch our legs away? Because I think our feet could do with a bit of this. Let's give the ankles a bit of love and circle them. So if you're sitting, you can see I've got my heels dug into the floor, and I'm just going to circle one and then the other. So you could do both at the same time. Gorgeous. Right, now we're going to a raised leg, I think. So those heel raises are coming back. If you're lying down, your legs are bent, you might want to bring your feet forwards a little bit, not so close to your bum. And we're going to take the foot up and then toes towards you, toes away. If you're seated, I want you to do some heel raises up and down. Just one leg though. And take it down, and then the other side. So coming up to that tabletop, that 90-degree position, and just moving the toes away from you and then towards you, away from you and towards you. Take it down. Now we're going to keep this shape in our body and roll over onto our sides if we're lying down. If you're seated, could you bring your legs together? And then I'm going to bring my legs into this 90-degree position. And can you see it's a bit like I'm sitting on a chair. So my imaginary chair is underneath me. We're all going to do the same move, but just our bodies are in slightly different places. This bottom leg, if you're lying down, presses into the floor right from the outside of your little toe, your ankle, all up the side of your shin, calf, your knee, thigh, and your hip, all pressing down. This other leg is going to lift up and come down. Now, if you're sitting upright, your feet are going to be on the floor, and you're going to press the leg that's in the floor, imagine it's this one, and just take the leg away and back so they touch. Now the foot position when you're lying down, it could be long or short. I quite like us all doing it the same and having this flat foot actually. But you can see I'm not lifting, I can lift my leg up here, but that's not bringing a huge amount to things at the moment. I just want you to concentrate on little movements. Maybe it gets bigger the more you do it. If you slow down, everything feels heavier anyway. But press this bottom leg either into the floor or the foot into the floor if you're sitting. Oh, that's my last one, I think. And then give that side a little bit of love. The next move is softer. It's more for the arms and the upper body. So this lower arm comes outwards. The legs are at the moment together. If you're sitting, could you go to the edge of one chair? And we're going to let our arms swing downwards. That's why I need to be on the edge of the chair. Otherwise, it'll just go into the chair. And now start to see how far your arm is comfortable to go back and how far is comfortable to go upwards. So that movement becomes bigger. Now, can you make it some sort of circle? So I'm not a complete circle yet. I'm nearly there. And if this bit feels a bit sticky, mind, as soon as I get to here, it's like, I'm not quite sure. You could bend the arm and just move it on the point of your elbow instead of the whole arm, and then make your arm longer and then see how it feels. Let your legs move, particularly if you want to roll back a little bit. Let me just show you what it looks like seated. So I take my legs further apart for seated, sat near the outside of the sofa. Try not to bang into a plant here. And then I might move my leg out a little bit more because you can't roll back here, you're upright, but we can turn and move this hip. So we're not getting any force, or there's less force going through our spine to rotate. And we could also do this with a hand on the shoulder, particularly if your arm, you've got frozen shoulder and your arm, it just won't go up. Keep it smaller, keep it lower. And it's like you're just drawing this circle, or more like an oval, on a glass table. That's it. And then we're going to repeat on the other side. So if you're seated, legs are together, and you're going to just open one leg out and bring it back. And you might go further. The leg stays in the same shape, the knee and the ankle, they're over each other, so it doesn't look like this. It's got to be both together. Now I'm lifting. It could be you slide. If you can lift, can you lift higher? Oh, that's harder. You can mix it up. Right, down on the floor, legs together, bringing them forward. So now my thighs, they're forming a right angle with the body. They're perpendicular, coming outwards. So we've got this sort of like I'm on an imaginary chair. Just going to do something I forgot to do on the other side, and see my top hip here. You can see the difference when I do that. So before, there's like a dip, big dip here, and everything's sunk downwards. Now, if I push that hip away, my hips sort of even out in position, and my waist here is having to work a little harder. I can feel it spreading up here and affecting how I support my head too. That's better. Right now, bottom leg pushes down into the floor. Hover the top leg. Kiss it down just very lightly. That's it. If you're doing this sitting, don't forget that the stabilizing leg, the leg that still really needs to press down into the floor through the foot. We're doing it through the side of the leg on the mat. I'm making mine slightly bigger, but I'm also coming towards the end. Try not to roll back on this one. The rolling back is coming. And then ease off. Right, now legs back in the same position for now. Arm comes forwards. You may need to adjust your pillow, especially if you feel like you're going to go backwards at all. And let's have this arm just drawing a little arc. Now, this shoulder for me is not as comfortable moving. So as soon as I make this bigger, it's okay going back. It's just this about here. So what I'm going to do is have my hand up towards the shoulder and do it with an elbow circle. Oh, and I get so much more movement. And now the rest of my body says, yeah, that's okay. I might even move that arm inwards a little bit. You See, my legs are opening. You could open them right up if you want to. You could roll right back and come back. You can also keep it like this with your legs heavy. Don't, if you have osteoporosis, too much twist here, but otherwise it can feel like quite a nice sort of opening up. See, this arm's just holding these legs together and I'm just staying out here. That's nice. I feel like I'm getting more movement in my shoulder this way. And then we're coming back onto our side and we're going to push ourselves to upright. And if you're seated, take your legs wider, your hands behind, or if you've got something to lean against, lean behind and upright. If you're relying on your hands, push away from the floor, like you really can't bear to get any closer to it. Right, let's have our legs in a little windscreen wiper each side. If you're sitting, it's just wider legs doing the same action, front third of your chair seat. That's it. Then knees point upright, dip one knee in and out. I always think like you're dipping for sauce or something like that. You've got a little goujon or a little dumpling, just dipping it in. If you've got a hip replacement, you can still do this one, but the inwards movement is small. So it might be more like how I'm showing you at the moment, it's a little dip in. If your hips are comfortable doing this and you haven't got a hip replacement, you might be able to go a little further. This side is a bit stiff for me today. So I wanted to go as inwards. That's better. Last one. And then bring yourself so you're upright and your legs are comfortable. And we'll bring our hands to our chest. And just take a few breaths in. And then long breaths out. That's one. Let's do two more. And the last one. And then take your palms to the outside. Scoop up the air. Bring your hands together and into your chest. Thank you so much for moving with me, for getting your bodies sort of oiled, bringing the blood to all the joints. Motion is lotion. I just feel like I've given the insides a little massage. I hope you do too. Have a lovely week. I'll see you soon.